Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Today Show. But for now, we're joined by Saira Hayati, an influencer, podcaster, and mortgage consultant. Very weird amalgamation there, but fair enough. She travels between London and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and works with various brands. She is known for her content on property, finance, food, beauty, and loads of other stuff. Assalamu alaikum, Saira. Welcome to the show. You're what is it called? Is it a polymath? Is that what it is when you're
a polymath? Oh, okay.
an expert in absolutely everything?
I don't know. That's what people say, but
I feel like you are.
Is that what it is? I'm glad I have a title now. I'm a polymath.
Maybe
because people say you should stick to one topic. Like when I digressed off of mortgages and finance and property, people said, "Oh, you've digressed," and I said, and what? It's my choice.
Exactly.
It's my channel.
Yeah.
But then you heard, like, everybody said, what was your niche? And then later on you hear people say that actually when you're on social media, then don't stick to one thing, talk about everything, because people want to get to know you. But I was already doing it, so I was like...
You were ahead of the curve.
I was ahead.
That's what we like to see, Saira, yeah? I feel like everyone says that they go, you need to niche down, you don't need to niche, you know, it's all just fun and games.
People keep saying it to me now, and I'm like... No, I just want to be myself, do what I do, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, hop off.
But I think that's why people love your content. You know, when you come across, especially your Instagram, like immediately, it's this infectious personality. It's really bold. It's out there. It's entertaining, or it's informative, or it's both. And we absolutely love it.
Or a bit of cheek,
or
tongue
a bit
in
of cheek.
cheek.
But you like that, you know?
Yeah,
you
I don't mind that. I like the tease.
Exactly.
Depends who I'm teasing.
Exactly. You want a bit of tease. But listen, what I want to really focus on today is because you've spoken about your influencer journey many times on previous podcasts, but I want to really focus today on your hijrah to Malaysia. But before we dive deep into it, tell me what made you want to leave the UK and go across the world over to Malaysia? What instigated that?
I think it was October the 7th, largely. I just felt like I had this thing in my head, and don't laugh when I say this, but it was like, you know, in Ertugrul, they got their camps.
Yes, the series,
Yeah. So they got their camps. And I thought, and then you had the whoever, I never watched it, to be fair. I watched like caught bits when my mum was watching it. So you had the good camps and then you had the bad camps. And I'm thinking, I'm in the bad camp. I need to be in the good camp. And so it was to do with that, largely, without going too deep, because I've already covered that off in other interviews and whatnot. But that, and I'd always said that I was going to live in a Muslim country because I wanted to. I wanted that ease of prayer, and I am not a cold country person. My parents came here. I love it here in the summer, but in the winter, I feel like I've zombified and I'm dead.
See, we're the opposite. I love it when it's cold. When it's cold, I'm like the happiest person ever. When it's hot, I'm miserable. I want it to be cold. But I think the AC is on in here, freezing in here. I
don't mind the AC. Put it on. As long as I can step out that door and I can feel the heat like an oven, I'll be happy.
I want it nice and cold. But look, we're not here to talk about the weather.
Yes.
I do want to talk about in Malaysia. I've always wanted to go to Malaysia because it feels like, you know, partially because it's a Muslim country, but also because of how advanced everything seems to be, right? And you said it before, that it's more advanced than the UK.
Yeah.
Tell me what you mean by that.
You know what's so underrated? And if you haven't been to Malaysia, I'm sorry, you've not lived. You've got to go. And we don't go because it's 14 hours flight.
Yeah.
But you can cut that flight up. You can go stop off in Saudi, do your Umrah, and then go, or visit another country. But technology-wise, maybe because it's the Asian side, maybe because the Chinese are there and you've got all the other borderers, they're advanced with, let's just use something simple like a toll crossing. You know, we've got Dartford Crossing.
Yeah.
I came here today via the Dartford Crossing, and you can guarantee that your Waze is going to redline for 15 minutes. You're going to the worst traffic ever. Now, Malaysia has tolls everywhere, and you have a little tag in your window when you hit the barrier. They've even got barriers. Like our Dartford Crossing hasn't even got barriers anymore. They thought that would speed it up. And you go straight through, barrier goes up, and off you go. Things as simple as that. They're also using digital currencies on its way in, right? So you over there, you have your normal bank account, you transfer your money to your touch and go wallet, and everything's done by QR code. Everything's paid by QR code.
Everything?
Everything. You go to a shop, you go anywhere. They don't want cash.
Wow.
They don't want cash.
It's like
QR
another
code.
world, man.
That is... Initially, I thought, God, what is all this faffing around, you know? But actually, as you start to get used to it, everything is just you get your phone out and there you go. Pay me some money. There you go. Scan me. You owe me 100 quid. There you go. Scan me.
So what was it like then? Now you know you saw the advancements in technologies, but how did it personally affect you? especially your own, I guess, personal growth and even your spirituality as well, your relationship with Allah, living in Malaysia? What sort of impacts did you see?
Huge. So KL is a vibrant, beautiful city, and it is alive day and night. So you've got so much opportunity, I would say, in KL. There's a lot of things you can do. People say, if I do hijrah, for example, what would I do? I said, you go do business. Set up a business. You'll succeed because it's vibrant, and there's people from many different countries. Chinese migrate there. There's Indians and Pakistanis and South Indians and people from everywhere. So Indonesia, it's only over the water as well. They come over. So on that front, I would say the vibrance is just so alive, and the sunshine, it just gives you almost an energy that you don't feel here. And I always say that places like that are easier to be positive, not just because of the sunshine, but everybody's on the same page pretty much. We off the positive energy that comes from praying and praying on time, because the facilities are there everywhere. You want to pray in a petrol station, they will have wudu and they will have somewhere to pray. You want to pray down a side street, like so where we are located in London, any side street, within 5 minutes walk, you will find a sarau and you can pray. So I loved that.
Wow. Were there no any adjustments that you had to make? Because it is a different country. You felt like you could just come in, no cultural adjustments that you had to make whilst living there?
Cultural, no. Why would there be a cultural adjustment?
I don't know.
No.
There's nothing that you felt like you had to change or you missed about the UK?
I missed the only thing I missed actually was fostering.
Oh, okay.
Because I fostered while I was here. That's the only one thing that I missed. And they don't have as much of that system available over there.
Okay.
I didn't find it anyway, but what else? People have asked me this before, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know. Go yourself, and then you'll say. I'll ask you the same
British
question.
comedy. You didn't miss British comedy. Our
You've got it all
hilarious sense of
there. I went
humour?
to some great places.
Wow.
I went to some great places.
Because I feel like that's what I know you mentioned the distance, but I think what the big thing is people are scared because they feel like they're going to have to adjust, right?
There's no
and
adjustment.
they're used to.
The only adjustment is the weather. That's the only thing that you're going to adjust to. You will climatise to it.
Yeah, that's a big adjustment for me.
No, it won't, because look, people go Dubai, Saudi, Qatar. You're talking 50 plus. Here, 35 at a max, at a push.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can adjust to that. 29 to 35 all year round.
So what aspects, or were there any aspects in particular about Malaysian society that really surprised you? And I know you mentioned the fact that you can just pray wherever.
I'll tell you.
What was something that really surprised you?
me that the women, the respect they have for women and the positions that the women had.
How so?
Senior roles. The women had the senior roles. In any environment that I went into, whether it was like a head of a school or a head of somewhere, they had the senior roles. And the respect that the guys have over there for women, the way that they behave towards you, exceptional. I have to say, it was exemplary.
I mean, I think it's so ironic, especially when the Qatar World Cup happened, or just before it happened.
Yeah, I know that because I was going Umrah, and I had to take an indirect flight because of that.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I don't like indirect flights.
Well, when it happened, or when it was about to happen, it was all this, negative, I guess, PR for Qatar. But no one was talking about how incredibly safe it is, in these countries now. And the fact that you're mentioning Malaysia now and the respect that they have for women, I mean, it goes completely against the stereotypes that so many people are taught about, especially Muslim countries like Malaysia, right?
Malaysian, you could be out at silly o'clock and you won't feel like you're unsafe or you're at risk. Like in the UK, I can't do that comfortably. That's true fact. In any area, even affluent areas, it's still not safe to go out past a certain time because there's going to be trouble or riffraff on the streets.
So for someone who might be inspired by what you've had to say today or inspired by what you've had to say on your social media, what piece of advice would you give them if they want to just get up and do a hijrah to Malaysia?
People are scared. They think that it's permanent. When you do any hijrah journey, it's not. Nothing is permanent. Even your place on this earth isn't permanent. So stop thinking about what we've been programmed with, and that is embedding yourself into a society and staying there for your whole life. Like my mum and dad came to Gravesend, stayed in Gravesend. My dad passed away close to Gravesend. So that was their space. The world is huge. Allah put so many wonders around us to go and see. So explore. And obviously you can't because you've got children, the kids have to be educated, but you can find ways around, and there's always a part of your life or time in your life where you can do it. And if you can, don't think twice. Otherwise you'll feel like you've never lived. Don't wait to that pension retirement age that we've been programmed to adhere to. You don't have to do that.
So practically speaking, what is it that you need to do? Like, you know, let's say, for example, they want to go to Malaysia or even another country.
Yep.
What's the first thing that you got to think about?
I guess, you know, you've got to think about what you've got positioned in this country. And if you are financially comfortable, you'll be able to do it like this. And if you're not financially comfortable, then it's going to take a little bit of time to unpack what you've built here, and then pack up. You know what we do here? We accumulate possessions. We accumulate possessions and we set up what we call a home. That's our forever home. Nothing is forever. So stop thinking that way and stop accumulating unnecessary objects that will weigh you down, because that's what they're doing. You need minimal. The clothing minimal, the shoes minimal, the handbags and the whatever everybody is spending their money on. Put the money in the bank, minimalize your possessions, and put yourself in a position where you can get up and go and do.
I feel like now we're in it's weird that you mentioned that, because I was actually speaking about this with a friend of mine. I feel like now, especially because it's so difficult to buy a house here, because a house is a big investment, right? So you know, once you bought a house or you've got a mortgage on a house or whatever it is, you have a feeling that you're stuck there.
Yeah.
But now, one of the, I guess, advantages of the fact that it's so difficult to buy a house is you're no longer stuck. Like, you can actually just uproot and go. Whereas before you had to get rid of you had to sell your house, you had to do something. Whereas now it's easy. And I think that's why you're seeing more and more younger people going, do you know what? I don't want to stay in the UK anymore. I can go somewhere else. And like you said, look, Allah has given us this entire creation to go explore. Why would we not?
Look, it's fine and it's great that our parents came here. It's been to our advantage.
100%.
100%. Great passport, allows you to go anywhere in the world. Don't need those visas. The exchange rate for the pound is phenomenal. You know, if you can earn the pound and you can spend it in another country, that's why I always advocate, go do it, because you'll live a life and you'll see something completely different to what we have here. And here it is earn it and spend it in expenses and have very little left at the end. And if you're lucky, you'll get a holiday. You know, and then they push the whole car concept, and people are doing cars on finance as well. You know, it just digs deeper and deeper into really what that agenda is, and you should free yourself from it. And okay, so reason why I came back is because I do have a mortgage on my main residence, and I had a property that was rented. So I had to come back because there's things that I've got to do. But I think we'll probably cover that off in a minute. But we were talking about the whole, what did you say again? What was it you just asked me?
About because you can't buy a house anymore.
So you've got freedom. Renters, this is one. I used to weigh it up. You know, where the last crash and house prices dropped, and interest rates were high, which is kind of where we are now. Is, would it be better to rent? Because I was running a property management business, and I was thinking, God, the renters are all right. They haven't got the headache of negative equity. Because you get negative equity, you are really stuck in there, because you've got if you can't sell the house for the value of the loan, you've got to find the difference yourself. And if you can't find the difference, then you've got to sit tight. So at that point, I was thinking to myself, the tenants have got it right. And they can get up and they can downsize, and they can get up and they can go somewhere else. And you see that here, you know, we don't have furnished property, but when you go abroad, you find furnished property. So you only need your suitcase with your clothing, and that's what I did. Packed up, got rid of, I'm telling you, skips and skips of stuff that you were, what is this? Do I need this? I was ruthless.
But that's the thing, because I've got a lot of friends who have gone traveling, and they've done the exact same thing. And they might not have gone to live there or whatever, but for a few months, 6 months, a year, they do, and they go, like, they get rid of so much stuff, and they realize how materialistic we are. But also that we're taught to do this, to like have all these things, to have all these shoes and have all these clothes.
It's business. They're business. Look, I used to have this one theory in my head, and this is how my wardrobe has always remained quite small, is if I haven't worn it for a year, then it's got to go.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. And if I buy something new, something has to leave.
Okay.
That way you keep a reasonably small wardrobe. Because I've seen some people and their wardrobes are horrendous. They're brimming, you know, it's falling out.
Not just the style, the actual quantity, yeah.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that as well. No, mostly. But we follow fashion. Fashion is an industry. Industry is money, the same as beauty is an industry. And if you stick with it, that's why when I switched to the abaya and hijab, you save so much money. Because it's not a fashion-driven...
Yeah, you don't have to follow any trends.
No, don't follow any trends. In fact, you feel very comfortable in yourself. Your self-esteem goes up because you don't feel like you are not meeting those trends. And so, life is easy.
So what would you say then to, let's say someone's ready to go, you know, they've not got anything here, they've done everything that you've said.
Yeah.
But now they've got to tell their parents, and their parents are apprehensive about them going. What would you say to them to convince their parents, you know, to let them go? And because you don't want to leave.
Telling me to go against parental guidance.
Well, I mean, this is an issue that a lot of people have.
I can't say go against your parents, can I? But
how could you convince them?
Convince them by saying, look, let me just go for a few months, small chunks, I say.
Yeah.
I'm not going forever. Just going to go for a month or two. You can come and visit me. That is, enticing, and then we can take it from there. Nothing's forever. Let's baby step it. And, you could, because parents are going to miss their kids. I can imagine if one of my kids turned around and said they want to leave the country. I know I did it and left my older children here. But if my kids said it, I don't know how I'd feel about it.
So I'm saying, it's because you don't want to
No,
leave
I would tell
without...
them. No, I would tell them. I'd say, go, live your life.
You just tell them to go,
But, people are hanging on to their kids too tightly. I didn't. I have to say, I say to my kids, go. Live your life so I can live mine. But actually, no, go.
That's the main reason. You just want to live yours. That's why I say.
Go be free.
Yeah, you want to live your influencer life. So
my job is to grow you and send you on your way. Why are you still here?
Well, it's.
No, I love having them round.
It's so interesting because our at least my grandparents, they moved here, so they left their homes and where they were from
Your
for
grandparents,
decades
my
and
parents,
decades. Yeah, exactly. Well, they left, right?
Yeah.
So, but then now it's like we feel like we can't leave, but they did the exact same thing.
Look, you're so stuck in a rut. That's what I'll say, because you've been obviously programmed a certain way. There's lots of people migrating.
Yeah.
People coming to the UK. I talk to people and they'll go, so I lived in Dubai for this many years, and I lived in Canada for this many years, and then now I'm in the UK, and I'm like, wow, I only did one, and everybody's excited about it, and I was excited that I managed to do it.
Well, all I did was go from the northwest to the southwest to now the southeast, and I get excited talking about that.
I moved mountains.
Moved a whole whole other country in a whole
county,
other
whole new county.
Yeah, mental.
You can do it. Malaysia's so easy. I think that's why, because I went in the December with my brother, looked at it, and I thought, I feel at home because the houses, the weather, the right-hand side driving, everyone speaks English. Which is
Happy
the
days.
worst place to be if you fancy learning a new language, because, we feel like we're so entitled as British people anyway that, well, hang on a minute, what do you mean you don't speak English?
Yeah, we get offended if they don't speak English in their country.
People say to me, I'm so sorry, I can't speak very good English. And I'm like, no, I am sorry, I can't speak your language.
Yeah, my response is, your English is a million times better than me and your language, because it's true. We are
a higher standard than we
100%.
do. Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, I want to do some quick fire questions with you, all right? Before we go for a quick break, all right? So, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, these are going to be quick fire, first thing at the top of your head, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you sort of already answered this one. Most surprising thing about Malaysia?
Most surprising thing?
Yeah. Quick fire, come on, Saira.
What's the most surprising thing about Malaysia?
Yeah, what was the most surprising thing?
For me, the beauty.
The beauty, okay.
Beauty.
What's your best finance tip?
Best finance tip is keep your money in your pocket and don't give it away so easily.
One British habit you can't shake off.
I haven't got a British habit, have I?
I feel like you still got a strong accent.
I can't change that though, can I?
But have you got a British habit that you can't shake off?
What British habit? I haven't got any British habits. No, like what?
What are British habits?
What are British habits? Oh, the queuing.
Yes.
We don't mind joining a queue. We get in the queue, don't we?
In Malaysia, do they have queues, or what's the situation there?
Not so bad. No, it's not that bad. No.
Okay, nasi lemak or fish and chips. And for those who don't know, what is nasi lemak?
Nasi lemak is like a chicken with rice and anchovies and peanuts. I'm going to say fish and chips.
What? See, so there's your British habit there. There's your British habit.
I like a good fish and proper chips. Proper chips.
Thick,
proper
yes,
chips.
That's what we like to see.
Salt and vinegar in paper.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Halwa.
One thing you wish you brought from the UK to Malaysia? Nothing. Nothing. What's a Malaysian word you've mastered?
Nama saya Sarah.
Oh, wow.
That's
That's so
it.
basic. And the
I
next one...
haven't, because they all speak English.
I mean, the next one was favourite Malaysian phrase or saying. Surely you've got a favourite phrase.
They say la after everything. Boleh la? Is your name Sarah la?
Why?
Are you
Just
on the
'cause?
Islam channel la?
Amazing.
It's
I
a
mean,
bit like
I
us saying yeah.
Ah,
How's it
that's
going, yeah?
Okay.
They go la behind everything.
What's a British stereotype that Malaysians have about you? Any of your Malaysian friends would be like, oh, that's quite British, or
Yeah, bottle of water.
bottle of water.
Bottle of water. They want me to say bottle of water, or they want me to say Harry Potter.
Nice. Describe your hijrah journey to Malaysia in one word.
It was amazing.
And last question, if you could take one person, dead or alive, with you to show them Malaysia, who would you pick and why?
I've already taken my mum.
So who else would you pick? One
Who
other person.
else?
Yeah. Anyone in the world, dead or alive. It could be a
Oh,
famous
my
person,
dad,
it could be a
okay.
family.
Famous? No, my dad. I'd take my dad, because my dad was a laugh.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think you would have liked Malaysia?
Oh, he would have loved it.
Brilliant.
He's
I mean-
alive. He's a live character. Like he died at 67, I think he was.
Wow.
But it was sudden. But he could have quite easily, even at 70, 80, if he carried on to live that long, he would have been alive. He'd have loved it.
I feel like the Malaysian government need to pay you for all the PR,
I know.
amazing PR that
People
you've done
thought
for
that I was being
Malaysia.
paid.
It does feel like it,
They
because
said,
you're
like,
selling it so well,
Selling it,
Saira.
but if I love something, if I believe in it, I will sell it. If not, I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing. But if I don't, then I won't. I'll be zip. That'll be the one time Saira's got a gob shot. You know?
I mean, but the thing is with me, I feel like if I love something, I don't want to tell anyone. I want to gatekeep it. I don't want
No,
to
I
let
never
everyone know.
gatekeep.
You're just telling
Straight
everyone
away,
about
like
it.
recent gold prices, they're coming down.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. Saira, I really appreciate you here on the Today
Thank
Show.
you for having
We're going
me.
to go for a short break. We're going to join you again after this break. But that was Saira Hayati there. Make sure you go follow her on all her socials. Like I said, she's absolutely hilarious and she's a bucket of joy over on Instagram as well. We're going to see you straight after this break. Assalamu alaikum.